Welcome. We are here for the Nasty
MUD-N-MAYHEM event here in Jay, Oklahoma at Mid-America Outdoors. Have they done this event many times before?
They did this a couple weeks ago here for the UTV Takeover.
Yeah.
But this is presented by HIGHLIFTER. It's going to be awesome out here. I'm excited to see this. You're a veteran to this. I am new to the mud, so I'm excited to see this.
I have raced for many years, and that's actually where I got my start is in mud racing. But one good thing about this is going to be a viewer-friendly event. There's going to be a lot of wild stuff out here. And the way the tracks are set up in this bounty course style of racing is like a hill and hole track with a lot of obstacles in the course. So there's tractor tires in there. There's regular-sized vehicle tires. There's big boulders. There's underwater obstacles. Like, there's all kind of stuff going on. You can see the start-finish line jump with shoulder right here over my shoulder. And so, like, it's in and out, jumping culverts. It is a fun thing to watch and a wild thing to be a part of.
Yeah, so how come, are you going to go out there and get in it, or are you just going to bypass and stay it up here with us today?
Yeah, I think today, I'm going to sit this one out. I brought some buddies with me that are going to make a run at it. I'm predicting he's going to have a pretty successful day.
Yes.
But he's going to step in for me and make a run at the title.
Well, I'm excited to see this. Like I said earlier, it's been a long day. We've had a side-by-side racing earlier on. Now we're up here doing the mud racing, and it is so awesome to see these tires on some of these vehicles. I'm 5'4", and I went and stood next to one of them. It's almost as tall as me. Like, these are gigantic tires.
Yeah, and this bounty hole has become a really big thing where they've got specially built vehicles just for this bounty course. And so they're going to have huge tires, huge portal or gearboxes, drive systems to get them as much ground clearance as they can. Some of them have nitrous, big motors. Like, these things, they do get wild. I've seen a lot of videos, and you can go check out some YouTube highlights of these guys getting wild in bounty hole racing. But there's one over there that I saw, a big Can-Am that I think you could almost walk under.
That's the one I took a picture by because I was like, what in the world? I've never seen a Can-Am so big in my life like that.
He was kind of blocking the road when I pulled up on my pit bike, and so I really just...
Oh, you could have done like the Fast and Furious thing. Going underneath
just
it.
the movie slide, pop it back up and keep going. And so there's going to be everything out here, ATVs, UTVs. There's a small tire class, a big tire class. It's bounty hole racing, obstacle course, knockout racing. It is going to be a ton of wild mud racing today.
Which I have some rules right here, and some of the rules are the small class, the tires are up to 32 inches. The medium class, the size of tires are 33 to 40, and the unlimited class is size 42 inches and up. That is a very, very large tire. Like I said, I was standing next to it earlier, but it's going to be fun to see them go through this. I watched a quad go through the other day when they were kind of completing the build, and it took them quite a bit to go through. But there's also a time limit.
Yes, and so it's not just run indefinitely. You have to complete it in a certain amount of time, and whoever completes it the fastest is going to take home the gold. And I guess realistically, if nobody's able to complete it, it's whoever makes it the farthest. But to be honest, there's some big rigs out here today. Somebody in this group is going to be able to make it through.
And that's exactly what, when I was getting a rundown on stuff, they were saying like there is a time limit. If they're still out there and their time is up, then they just measure it, and then that's how they go and score on that. But this right here, that is pretty cool to see.
It looks like we've got our first contestant in the hole. Do you know from the list who we're looking at right now?
This is the small and the ATV. Let me see.
It's going to be the ATV small tire class, which is up to 32-inch tires. I can tell just by looking at it. He is on a Can-Am Outlander, which being a factory Can-Am guy, naturally I'm pulling for this little dude.
So there's 4 Can-Ams in this class and 1 Razor. So I'm not sure the name of this one because they do have a number, but I don't know what his number is. But Brian Fulcher, if this is the first one off the line, he's from Wade, North Carolina.
And my man is 9 years old. That Can-Am Outlander is not huge. It's because Mr. What was his name? Tell me again. Brian. Little Mr. Brian is 9 years old making a run at this. So.
Oh, and he's got quite a crowd here. He's got Performance East, RPM, Cycle, Wheel Pros, Air Dam Clutch, Super ATV, a Pocket Change Fabric.
These dudes, they do get a lot of sponsorship behind them. And so I remember from the days whenever I was mud racing, like, it's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of it, and these little guys got some sponsors. So at 9 years old, he's got a good little list of sponsorships there.
You know what's really crazy about this is, like, I was asking the guys the other day, I'm like, is it a benefit to go at the beginning or the end? But they were saying at the end, even though it's a mud, they're still going to have some ruts underneath there, and it's going to create, you know, harder to get through. But it's also about weight distribution of making sure you're getting traction with tires underneath.
Yes, yes. So there definitely is some advantages to going a little later in the race. And so basically when we go mud riding, whoever's leading the pack, we call it busting the ruts. So right now Brian is going to be busting the ruts, which means it's really thick, really nasty. There's no line through the pit, so he's having to dig the line. But he's pulling his front tires out. It looks like he may get a full pull in under the time, and he does.
There he goes. 9 years old out there doing this mud stuff. The mud, I mean, you like to play in the mud as a kid.
All the time.
I couldn't imagine doing this when I was a kid, playing in the mud like this.
Yes, and this is literally like a normal trail ride for us, except he is on a time limit. He did an awesome job, especially being the first one in the pit. That's always the toughest because, like I said, you're busting the ruts. Whereas everybody after that a lot of times can run his line where he's already cut a groove until you start running out of ground clearance. So this next one in the pit, it looks pretty low, but it's got a pretty gnarly tire. So I'm curious to see if he's going to run right down Brian's line, or if he's going to take another line, run the sidewall, try something else out.
Yeah, and the next one up will be the number 900 of Robert Parker.
No, I think we're going to be on with Christian. What did they say? Tristan Fulcher.
Where is my
or something like that. That's a good enough run at it. It looks like he is also on a Can-Am 1000. It looks like a little Renegade with some big slingers on that thing. He's got some hobnobs on there. And I think this may be his trail riding rig, too. This ain't just his race rig. He trail rides on this thing, I can tell.
I think his quad is taller than him.
Look at him. He is making sure to look at the camera as he passes by. Like, Dad, get a shot of this. We need this on my YouTube channel.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, and there you can see right there, it's obviously a little hump in there. There is a, like a cement, what do they call it, the cylinder?
A culvert.
Back here behind us, so there probably is one right in there as well, because you saw him go over that hump.
Look at my man. He's getting a little rock going. He's getting a little throttle on it.
That must be Dad right there coaching him.
How old is Mr. Tristan that we're watching run right now? Let's just make a stab at it. What is your best guess?
I bet he's a tiny tot, so I would say he's probably, I don't know, maybe 8.
Is he an 8-year man?
Maybe 7? I'm not sure.
I like what my man's doing with his life. That's a good start to racing right there.
That is a great start to racing. I got to get these papers in order here.
And you see him getting a little coaching from the side. It looks like Dad's standing on the edge telling him, like, back it up, turn the wheel, pick another line. And so in this style of bounty hole racing, when it's a really nasty, long, straight line hole like this, you do have the opportunity to back up. And so you can take different lines, you can back up, you can reset, and you're just on that time limit. As fast as one through, who can make it the farthest or that time limit. So as long as he stays under that time limit, my man can back up as many times as he wants, can turn around and back out of the hole if he wants to.
So it says right here, Tristan is 9 years old, also from Wade, North Carolina.
9 years old,
brother Brian and Tristan.
Yeah. Sharing a last name, I'm going to speculate. Being that they got matching jerseys, being that they're sharing a last name.
And they live in the same town.
Either there's something weird going on in that town or they're twin brothers. I don't know how there's two brothers that are the same age unless they're twins. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, yeah, we're going by our sheets here that we have, and that's what it says. He's from Wade, North Carolina, 9 years old. Same sponsors as brother there, but, yeah, he's having a little bit of trouble right here, it looks like.
He is, and I've been in this position before where you kind of hung up, you really don't know what to do. This is where you go full wooded, put a zip tie around the throttle, and just put on a show for the crowd till she blows. You know what I mean?
I mean, you kind of just did this a few weeks ago in a vehicle on your socials.
yeah, except it was a 10,000-pound Dodge truck that we had hung up.
Exactly. Oh, you guys finding those boats or whatever it is you do. That's pretty funny.
Poor little dude. It looks like he's looking to the left side for his dad now. Oh, he's just staring at the camera.
See.
Exactly.
This is where you need tear-offs, but I don't even know if those would work for you.
Mask is covered up. He's just kind of looking around, seeing if anything around him is happening.
I got to find in here and see if I can find what the time limit is, because there is that time limit, and whoever gets the farthest, I don't see it right here. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. They do have a time limit, but, you know, they got to get a lot of kids through here and a lot of vehicles through here, because there's quite a few people that have entered.
There definitely is quite a few of the small tire quads, which to me they're fun to watch. They really got kind of the battle. You can run a lot of horsepower. I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be one guy that you're going to want to watch out for. He showed up with me this weekend. It's going to be Mr. Quentin Daniels. And I'm telling you right now, if it doesn't blow up, he's going to put on a show today for sure.
Oh, no. He has lots of practice hanging out with you.
He does. Unfortunately, he's learned the hard way what to do and not to do. And I can guarantee you, in this position, he's going to hold it down until it blows up.
Oh, yeah. Well, did he take zip ties and put on it?
He has a pair of zip ties in his pocket, and so he's going to zip tie the throttle wide open.
You just said that.
And let her eat. I don't even think.
So is he in a big wheel or medium?
Oh, he's in he's in the small wheel class.
Oh, he's in the small wheel.
But he signed up for all classes. So, see, we're taking a measurement right here. My little dude went as far as he could, and there may be some other people that get hung up in the small tire class like this. So they're going to pull a measurement, see where he's at, and that's going to be his mark.
So what do you think that was, about 5 minutes?
Yeah, I think that's about a 5-minute time.
5 minutes. So that was Tristan in that small wheel class. So let's see who we have coming up next here. So we have Tristan Fulcher that just went. Brian Fulcher has gone. So they're 9 years old, and they're competing in small wheel class with grown adults.
Yeah, for sure. There's no age limit. Well, I guess maybe there may be a relative age limit. But in general, like some of these guys, I know their dads also run. I've seen their team run in some mud races before, so I know their dads run. They're bringing their sons up in there. I've seen some of their sons run in the mini class where they run like 90cc, 110cc ATVs. And so they've been around mud racing for a while, this little group, and it's cool to see them go up into the adult class.
Yeah, it's super cool. Look at that. So they're going to have to get his car out. Look, he has his own tow rope on the back side of it.
My man, he was prepared just in case. We're going to call this the Mid-America Recovery Team right now. The R&R team, the reconnaissance and recovery. Oh, look at Dad getting down in the pit.
Dad's going to help him out, make sure he gets it all out safe and sound. They're going to pull that thing up.
Hopefully they just string it up in the sky. That's the way to get it out of there. The other thing you see that they don't want to do is drag it forwards or backwards very often because that cuts a new rut. And a lot of times that can make it easier to make it through or make it worse if they blow the ruts out a little bit. And so they might try to just pick that thing straight up in the air.
We've had one go through already today, so a second one already measurements. And it's pretty cool to see that they do the measurements. So you still get some kind of, points or however they run this series here. But to do the measurements, because you got a place, right? So somebody might not get as far as him. There might not be anybody else that gets through it.
For sure. Because a lot of times you'll see a lot of vehicles break in these bounty courses. You'll see a lot of people not make it as far as even like this little dude is. So he could end up with a podium spot just by getting his distance put in. So naturally he won't beat the Brian that made it all the way through, but he still could end up with a podium spot with just a distance finish.
Correct. So we'll see who is going to be coming up next here in just a minute. They got to clear out the mud course. We'll call it the mud course.
We'll call it the mud course. We'll call it the Mayhem in the Mud.
In the mud, yep.
Mud course.
Presented by HIGHLIFTER out here at Mid-America Outdoors for the birthday bash. I wasn't here.
This
is my first time here.
Whose birthday is it? Baby's birthday bash?
It's Mid-America's birthday.
Oh, it's Mid-America's birthday bash.
Yes.
Dang.
Labor Day weekend, Mid-America's birthday. It's party.
How many years is it? How many years old is Mid-America?
That I am not sure of. I couldn't tell you that. I actually asked that question to somebody that didn't know the answer, but I would love to know myself.
I would too. I feel like let's just wildly speculate. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking probably 4 or 5 years.
No, this bad boy's in its infancy stage, and it's still killing it. I'm going to go with 2 years.
They've been racing 3 years here,
Okay, so I'm way off base. So I was giving them more credit than maybe I should have. They've been around just handing it out for a couple years now.
I mean, that's really bad. I don't know how many years Mid-America has been open, but I'm sure Brad's walking over here right now. He could tell us how many years. But we have Joey and Matt. They're down there. They're announcing to the live crew over there, keeping the crowd hyped up. They've been out and about all day. They went, what is that's going on around here as well? It's the raft out.
Oh, yeah, we went to that earlier today. There's a lot of cool stuff going on right around here. So we went to Grand Lake a little earlier today. That is title sponsor is Mid-America for that.
Yes, it is.
What is it called?
Raft out. I believe it's called Raft Out.
The Raft Out. It was out on the lake playing music, had a live band. It was an awesome little event. So we went there this morning, watched that, swam a little bit, and then came straight out here to watch the mud racing.
Swimming?
Yeah, we did go swimming.
Looks like we might have Robert Parker, I believe, coming up next. We have Robert and Nathan, so I'm not sure which Parker it is. Robert Parker, he's 38 years old. He's from Dunn, North Carolina. What is up with the North Carolinians?
This little group runs together. I believe their team is Team Momentum or something like that. So this little group I'm familiar with, they do run together. It's a father and a couple of sons. And so this is going to be the dad, Robert Parker. He actually has been racing for several years, and he was racing while he was just getting into racing whenever S3 and our team started pulling out of racing, out of mud racing, going to desert racing.
So S3, when you guys go to these mud events, do you take like a full setup of like multiple vehicles that have these big tires on it and take like a whole display of S3? Because I know a lot of people run S3 Power Sports products.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, that was a good little run. But yeah, that was a good little run by Robert Parker.
Yes, it was.
He's been around mud racing for a while, and so
he's a veteran.
He's ran that rig in a lot of fast pits. So a bounty hole would be a good, fun play run for him, just running against time. So a good little run right there. But going back to what you said, yes, we go when we go out to these mud events, we do take multiple vehicles, because anybody that follows S3 Power Sports on YouTube and follows my Instagram page, they know we tear a lot of things up.
Yeah.
So typically we bring as many vehicles as we can fit on a trailer for anything we might break. And then, we'll bring, a lot of times for big events like this, we'll bring out trailers and parts and apparel and help people keep going and come out here and MC and just be a part of this stuff. So
I know I've been seeing your stuff on a lot of stuff. I actually didn't realize that S3 does Jeep products.
Yes, absolutely. So
Trips Jeep, he's like, oh yeah, S3, they did it. I'm like, I had no clue that you guys did Jeep parts.
Yeah.
I thought it was just side by side.
I think Tripp and Joey that's out there announcing right now, I think both of them run all of our Jeep parts on their setup. So it's just cool to start seeing that stuff out here, and for us, it's just something we love to do and love to be a part of. But to see our parts out here, it's really exciting.
It's exciting. And in the mud right now is Jay. Do you know Jay Blassingame?
I do not recognize the name, but it looks like he's a man from Fort Worth, Texas, and
yep.
He's claiming he's got no sponsors, and I can appreciate. So we'll just say it's me. He's out there running. He's out there running for himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there we go.
Look at this dude. He's taking a different approach. He's burying that back end, kind of rocking back and forth, standing on the seat. I've done this on the trails many, many times. This is what you call a little bit of the mud acrobats.
I have to say that Robert made it look very, very easy going through that just now, like he's practiced it, but nobody else has been up here. But, yeah, he's struggling here. Jay is struggling just a little bit. You can see the mud flinging everywhere.
We're going to be in another spot right here, potentially. It looks like he found whatever.
He's trying to grab that grip, huh?
The young man earlier hung up on. He found a little high-centered spot. And so we may be pulling a measurement on him, too. Now, he's got time to reverse. I don't think he's even tried his first reverse yet.
Yeah. How many do you only have a certain amount of reverses you can do in mud?
I think it's in Bounty Hole, I believe it's unlimited. You can just keep making pulls. But look at my man straddling that handlebar, just leaving a snail trail on the thumb throttle, getting her stretched out there. I feel like I would come around full to the front rack, get some traction on the front tires, and make that thing start moving.
He's
you know what I mean?
rodeoing that thing right now.
Yeah.
I think if I was him, I would probably put it in reverse and put that, the weight on the rear end and see if he can pop it over.
That actually is probably a good idea. But my man, I mean, he's not going to back down. He's not going to back down.
And it's so slippery right there. He looks like he's going to try to put all his weight on the front end.
Yeah, that's the move that I would have gone for. Hang that butt off the front, get some leverage out there. Look at it. If he can get that nose to touch down and pull the back end over, he may be moving out of here.
He's just teeter-tottering. That's all he's doing right now.
Another good strategy that we used to use in these situations, if I'm not going to make it, nobody's going to make it. So you literally sit there and you spend your entire time digging the hole so deep that everybody after you has to fight through your ruts.
I want to know what's underneath there, if there's a rock under there or if they have one of those culverts under there or what, because so there's all kinds of stuff in the bottom, it sounds like.
That's the unique part about mud riding. A lot of people see this and they're like, oh, man, it's just go out there, hammer the throttle, close your eyes, and go as far as you can, which it's not. It's almost like rock crawling, but all of the obstacles are underwater, so you can't see what's under there. There's rocks under this water. There's actually tires under the water. There's, like we said, culverts. There's a lot of big rocks from out here. So it's basically a landfill underwater that you're making your way through.
And Gus and the whole HIGHLIFTER crew has been out here building it, so there's no telling what kind of tricks they did underneath that water there.
And I'll tell you, for those guys and guys that are into building bounty courses, they get some satisfaction out of making it impossible to make it through. And so they're going to make it as difficult as they can. Some guys get lucky once in a while and pick a good line. But like this, you see, there's some stuff under there for sure.
It's kind of like the rock racing and stuff that everybody does. It's kind of like they make it as hard as they can to see the minimal people finish because they want it to be a challenge for people to finish the races and stuff. But this right here definitely is not happening for him. Mr. J is going to probably have to do the measurement, like you said, and they're going to have to bring out the dozer.
Recovery team.
The recovery team.
The recovery team. Uh-oh, look at him. He's unstepped off. Can
you step off of it?
See, that's when it gets dicey. That's given up to me, but I don't make the rules in this bounty course. I don't know what the rules are. That may have been giving up his position, but
he's getting out.
He's getting it moving, and maybe at all costs. There's a lot of bounty racing that's at all cost.
Oh, yeah.
And so you can step off, you can turn it upside down, you can roll it over in the pit, and if you can get it back moving, you keep going.
He is, oh, well, I thought he was stuck again, but there's that traction.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, my man lost his footing.
How long is this mud pit? Do you know? I didn't catch the length of it.
I'm going to say 150 foot.
Something like that.
And I literally just pulled that out of air, but let's just say it's a 150-foot run. My man that got on this.
Okay, so he did time out.
Uh-oh, we just got official call over the radio. My man timed out, which, I mean, pull a measurement on that dude. He made a good run. They marking him with the flag. They're going to pull a measurement on it, see how far he made it. Get the tape measure out of there,
you
Trip.
Can see Trip over there.
Make sure you give Trip the dumb end of the tape measure because you're not going to get a good measurement if he's reading it.
Trip, he's a funny guy. We were over last night. You missed out getting here today. Last night was the triathlon.
There was a triathlon out here.
There was a triathlon.
When I look around this crowd, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't see anybody that's in any kind of shape to be doing no triathlons.
It wasn't that kind of triathlon.
Definitely no running, definitely no biking, definitely no swimming.
It had ping pong balls, bean bags, and tables with cups.
Got it.
So, not sure who this is. It could be Casey possibly. I'm not sure. We have Casey and Nathan. Casey Clinsworth and Nathan Parker have not gone yet in the small wheel category.
My boy's got a pretty good run. He hit a good line around that obstacle, and he's moving through there pretty fast.
Yeah, he's doing really good.
If I was some of those other racers that are lined up right now, I would be taking a look at his line and seeing how he scrubbed past that center obstacle that everybody's getting hung up on.
Look at that.
Yeah, that was a good run.
I wonder what that time's going to be because he just made it out.
Yeah, he ran right through there. He picked a really good line. So you see him getting out of the rut on that one, kind of mixing it up a little bit now that the mud got stirred up, and that was a good run.
All right, sounds like Brian Fulcher is going up next.
That's got to be senior, right? We saw a 9-year-old Brian Fulcher earlier, and the way his head is shining, there's no hair up there. I'm going to say that's not the 9-year-old Brian Fulcher.
Yeah. I'm not sure. We have this entry list here, but I'm not sure if they're going in order by that entry list. So you at home, if you're hearing us do this and we called the wrong name.
We're figuring out as we go, too, y'all. Listen.
You know what? The mud kind of gets in the way of stuff.
It does. And our sheets are kind of covered with a mud spray, so don't judge us. We're literally trying to read through the mud on this whole deal.
What is that stuff called? Muck off? Muck off? Mud off?
I don't know. My mom don't let me talk like that. Oh, we got another little one. Maybe this is the Brian Fulcher running again, the little guy, the 9-year-old. Can he run 2 times? Can he run multiple vehicles? Because it looks like he's on a different one.
If he did, he went and changed clothes.
Yeah, he might have changed clothes, changed the helmet, and washed it off.
Nathan Parker was a 13-year-old that's in this small class, small wheel class. So I'm not sure if he could have possibly gone, but he sounds like it's a little guy over there. We'll get confirmation on the name here hopefully shortly.
Man, this dude means business. You see how he flipped down that mask?
Oh yeah,
he's here to race somebody.
Oh yeah, look at him. He's
my boy. Toting the front tires, too. Toting the front end. Let's go. He's going to wiggle right around that obstacle, too. Oh, nope, he caught it with that inside tire. Oh, he laid the belly pan on it. He laid the belly pan on it.
I'm like, start rocking it like he's trying, like he can see me rocking
here. Yeah, that's what he's going to try to do. See, a good thing here when you have a little bit more weight is you can get set off to the side and get some traction on one of those side tires. But my little man is so small, and that quad he's on is so much bigger. Like, it's going to be hard for him to really get some weight shifted around on this thing.
But he is definitely, look, he's giving it his all and trying, that's for sure.
He's hitting mud acrobatics again right now, trying to get some weight on that front end.
You know what I love?
Get her to move.
There's a variety of age groups in here.
We
got 9-year-olds, we got 13-year-olds, we got 40-year-olds. That's pretty awesome to see.
And it's family racing family and kids racing dads. It's like the Arkansas mud racing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've never done that Arkansas mud racing, but I know you have.
Yeah, we've mud raced all over the country.
Yeah.
My little dude just don't have quite enough weight to get that nose pushed down.
I think the key to this hole right here is going to have to stay a little bit to the left when they jump in because this is the third one stuck on there.
I agree. I think you're going to have to pick one of the side lines. Now, the guy just before him ran that right line, and I just don't think this little man got over far enough to get off the obstacle. And
it's
now
like
he's belly
there's
down.
A round ball under there because the way he's like rocking.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a gimbal.
Yeah, it's almost like they tried to make it where he couldn't make it, too.
Oh, well, he's putting a little weight on that front end. Oh, look, did he just go in reverse?
Yeah, he did try back up, and he's getting some ruts dug down. And you see how gnarly those tires are, so anytime he grabs a little bit under the tire and pulls it out, it just makes that rut a little deeper and a little deeper. So it's going to make it more difficult for anybody that hits that line.
So, Dustin, tell me, I'm not sure about this. The tires that go on these, are they just where do they get them? Are they tractor tires?
Well, they do look a lot like tractor tires, and what's crazy is through time, as mud riding has become more popular, they've gone from what you would normally see like a super. Look at him! Look at him! He did get it off of here. My little man worked it off, and he's going to go ahead and.
Oh, he's got to get around this though. Remember?
Maybe put one in. Yeah. He's laid up on the gas tank.
It's all about momentum, right?
Yeah.
As long as you don't get hung up on something.
That's right. And my man's going to make a full pull out of this one. Yeah, look at him.
Oh,
look at him. Good job. Good job
guy.
to him. Good job to him.
I talk about the tiny tots in the 170s. We got the tiny tots out here in the mud. So he had a time of 39.664.
If you're trying to see about how long it's taking him to get through this pit, you're looking at if you're seeing how long it takes him to get through this pit, you're looking at a minute 39 on that run. And it doesn't look like you're doing much, but that's a physical thing to climb all over that thing. You know, use your core, use your arms to keep yourself held on. And so the little dude, I bet he's breathing hard when he comes out the other end of that pit.
He just now is taking it out of drive. He's backing up over there somewhere. But let's see who we have up next. Are we still in the small wheel class? That is the question. Oh, you can hear it sputtering just a little bit.
It may be just Cam talking, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It may be just some.
Look how tiny he is on that quad.
He's a little dude, but, man, he rode it good. He rode it good. I'm proud of him.
I mean, 9 years old. I'm not sure which one he is. There's Brian that was 9 years old. We got Tristan that was 9 years old, but Tristan did go earlier. But all kinds of fun stuff. So the small class that's running right now, their tires can only be up to 32 inches tall.
So here's a unique thing that I'm seeing right now. It looks like two teammates swapping quads. So I believe another one jumped on the same Outlander, is staged up, and he's going to make his run on the same quad. So a lot of times they do this because they'll run multiple classes, the small tire class, the big tire class, the unlimited class. And so each teammate doesn't want to build a vehicle for every class.
Okay.
So a lot of times whenever they're not running two-up racing, they can swap quads. So it's like, hey, man, let me make my run. Since we're running one at a time, you jump on it after me. You make your small tire run. And so this little dude, that's going to be one of the Parkers, the 13-year-old Parker. What was his name?
Oh, his name is Nathan Parker.
Mr. Nathan Parker, and he shot off the line.
And look how far he's already gone.
He got a good hop.
At the exit.
He missed that obstacle, and he is moving good. He's throwing his weight around really well to keep traction on the tires.
He is almost out of there. I'm just curious at what his time's going to be for the fastest time.
That's going to be a good run. He might have beat his dad with that run. That was a good run right there.
I bet that's a fun ride home, talking back and forth about what they did out here. He just got a time of a 24.028.
That's a good run. 24 seconds is going to put him up towards the top, if not the number one spot. So that is, we just got radio. Mr. Nathan Parker is going to be the leader right now with a 24-second run. So
how cool is that? He is 13 years old and just beat out people that are 38 and 40 years old.
Well, I see his daddy pacing over there, too, so I don't think he's too happy about that situation. But father-son battle, I can appreciate it, that's for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what that means? That means that Dad's taught him well.
Well, Dad's helmeting up again right now, snapping stuff on, stomping around, so he may be trying to jump on there and take another run.
Oh, can they do that? Can you go do multiple runs?
No, it'll be a single run, and so he may be running a different vehicle or something like that, but I do see him climbing onto another rig. And now that I look at what he's climbing onto, he may be moving into the large tire class.
The large tire, because we have medium class too that has not gone
Okay,
yet.
so that may be the medium actually. What is a medium class tire? Tell me what the rule is on that.
The medium class tire is a 33 to 40 inch tire.
Okay, that's going to be probably what he's climbing onto right now, because looking at his, those are definitely going to be larger than a 32. Okay. So that's why he's making another run. And a lot of guys are going to be running multiple classes. And we just got confirmation. We are in the medium tire class, and Mr. Robert Parker is going to make the first run. This is the 33 to 40-inch ATV class, 40-inch being the tire, 33-inch to 40-inch being the tire. And Mr. Robert Parker, I recognize his bike, too. This is going to be a big motor. I think this one is a nitrous bike. I don't know that he's running spray on it today, but
so they can run nitrous in these.
Yeah, and they do get wild on these for sure, for sure. This is what kind of the setup like I used to run, and so Yeah, I recognize this is a little Can-Am Renegade 1000. Obviously, the Can-Ams are really, really popular out here in the mud racing.
And this is the class your buddy's in, right?
Yeah, this is going to be where our guys running. So
All right,
you see custom cut tires. When they zoom in there, you're going to see custom cut tires where they shave them down, lighten them up. You know, excluding the tire size rule, you can kind of do what you want to your tires. So you can cup them, you can shave them down, you can lighten them, you can cut some of the lugs out to where they get the most traction they can. But you see mounted to the front, you are going to see a little nitrous bottle.
All right, so Robert Parker, he's 38 years old. He's from Dunn, North Carolina. He is on a Can-Am. He has Performance East Deep Creek ATV Park Pocket Change Fabrication, Mr. RPM, STM Power Sports. He's got lots of people.
He does have. He's been in mud racing for a long time. He's got a lot of sponsors. If I'm going to.
There he goes, taking off the line. Look at that. He wheelied into that.
You see these big motorbikes, these big tire bikes are going to make a real hard run at the hole.
Oh.
So you're getting a lot of wheel spin.
That's that spot right there that everybody was getting stuck on there.
A lot of RPM, but he's still moving good. You see him using a lot of body English, a lot of moving around where he feels the traction. He's going to come out the other side
Wow, that was fast.
pretty easily. Now, it looks like he did run over one of the cones, maybe jumped out of the pit a little early.
So that was he just ran a 20.391.
Yeah, Robert Parker just put down a heater for sure. That's going to be the fastest time so far in the Bounty Hole pit. And so that, honestly, that's a big motorbike with nitrous. That's no surprise that he was going to run a really fast time if he could get a clean run. Plus, we have gone up in tire size a little bit. So these guys potentially are going to put down faster runs for sure. And
it looks like we should have 4 competitors in the medium class of the 33-inch to 40-inch type. Look at the spectators out here watching this right now. That is an awesome drone footage, and seeing the Bounty or the mud course.
Yeah.
It's only going to get busier.
And that's a good look at the mud course. Now you just see there's a lot of different lines that you run through here. We're just running the Bounty Hole right now, where we're going to have the knockout. We're going to have the heads-up type racing. There's the obstacle course. But they've really done a good job. HIGHLIFTER put in a lot of work to get a really cool course put together out here. And I think they actually call it the HIGHLIFTER Extreme course. And when you see it from that point of view, you see why. There's, a big start line dumping right into there.
I can't wait to see that later on.
Yeah, that's going to be the fun one to watch. We got another little one running right here. That's going to be one of the Parkers again, I believe. I may be lying on that.
So in my medium class, I don't have his name there.
Where's the medium class?
Medium class is here.
Colton Chesson, 22. I don't know, but regardless, he's making a good run. My little man's flipped his helmet up so he can see where he was going and shoots it out the other side.
That's the white helmet with the green on it.
That's right.
So
that's right.
He just ran a few minutes ago.
Let's see what time he ran, because I feel like that was a strong run.
That's not a bad time.
We got my man sliding into the second spot right now at the 24-second mark. So a strong little run for a little guy. Yeah. No. Actually, you know what? We're going to take a run through the small tire class that we just saw a minute ago. Coming in third place is Mr. Robert Parker, the father of the Parker boys. Coming in second place is going to be Jake Moorhead. And coming in the small tire class in the number 1 position with a 24.028 is going to be the son, Nathan Parker. So good little run there. And you're going to see right now this is going to be Quentin Daniels in the pit. This is going to be a buddy of mine now. This is just his trail riding rig that he's bringing out.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's just literally we ride it on the weekends. And so this is no race bike, but it's just one that he gets out and rips on. So
well, you put those medium tires on there and go, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just show up and show out is what this dude's motto is. And so
run what you brung.
Run what you brung is what he's going to do. Didn't take him long to get covered in mud, and he's laid on the nose and throttle on the wood.
He got out. He didn't get stuck. Good job to him. That wasn't faster time, but he definitely made it through at least. Didn't have to have that measure. So 11 seconds off.
Yeah. Quinn running a little 31-second run through the Bounty Hole, so not a bad time. Third place, but again, he is only the third guy into the pit. So
Dustin, because this is kind of your realm here, tell us, what do you have to do to these so you can run them in the mud like this? Is there anything you got to do or change out?
The big thing is waterproofing and keeping everything dry, such as the air intake, the air filter, the belt box, and stuff like that. So almost all of these guys, and probably in this group, everybody's going to run a snorkel system that will bring your air intake up to the handlebars, bring your drive system or your CVT or belt intakes and exhaust all the way up to the handlebars. So the main thing is dielectric greasing everything, keeping everything dry.
Well,
yeah, you're going to see a nasty little run right here. So that's going to be a nitrous bike. And for a minute, you can see it skim on top of the hole. So you see a little hop, a little bounce. That's because he's getting so much wheel speed. Custom cut paddles, he's going to skim for a minute.
That has to be the fastest time right there.
That was a quick time. That's what lightweight and high horsepower get you right there.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we just got the time. It seems silly. It seems unrealistic. What was it?
12. What was it? 12. 12.5 something.
Yeah,
seconds.
12-second run out of, I believe that was Mr. Nathan Parker again. Now, that's what.
That is insane.
Yeah, that's what a big built motor, high horsepower nitrous bike will get you. That will get you a little skim on top of the mud for a minute.
Oh, my gosh. I cannot believe that little kid just, threw that time down right there. And we are not done with anything yet. We're still going to be having UTVs go through this.
Oh, the UTV are running the bounty hole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely see some tore up stuff then.
Yeah, they'll have to be calling up S3 to get some stuff.
I hope they do.
Did you bring parts?
Of course I did bring parts. I bring spare parts for these races every time. So just swing by the trailer. We'll get you taken care of.
Are you going to take your Jeep through here?
Oh, yeah, that thing's a rental. So of course, the Rocky Ridge Jeep, I'm taking it. Let's do the rundown for the medium tire class, 33-inch to 40. We're going to start with number 3, little Mr. Brian Fulcher again with a 24.68.
Oh, my goodness.
Coming up a little short again.
Mr. Robert Parker with a 20.391. We thought that was a fast time.
Yeah, we thought he ripped through it. And that was the father again. And coming in the number 1 spot, son of Robert Parker, it's going to be Nathan Parker, and he ran a
12.540. But he hydroplaned half of it.
Oh, absolutely. He was skimming on top of the mud. So you see a lot of them dump in, they go down. You see how fast his tires were pulling because it kept him on top for those 3 or 4 bounces. That's a beautiful, beautiful run when it comes to mud right there.
Yeah, when he took off, obviously he's lightweight, but I was shocked to see somebody halfway hydroplane this course. But that is an amazing time. I don't think we'll see anybody beat that.
No, realistically, that's probably going to be the fastest run of the day because it's a really good setup. A small enough tire that you can run wide open throttle without chancing breaking CVs, potentially shredding a belt, breaking a differential, a drive shaft. So when you get into the really, really big tire classes, it's a little hard to run that wide open throttle like that. So that may be the fastest run of the day. And it's impressive. See. Nathan Parker taking away 2 wins.
Wait, and how old is he again? He's 13
years old, and he's going to take away the win in the small tire class and the medium tire class.
Oh, here we are. We are starting off with the UTVs right now.
Oh, yes, sir. This is going to be –
this is the small UTV class.
That's good. You
so
can
we
hear –
have 3 of them in this class.
You can hear a lot of ruckus coming from this thing. My man's going to be on the wood till he comes to a stop.
So, is that your boy?
No, that is
not. Bring one?
No, we didn't bring a UTV. It was ATVs only. He might have signed up for the, this is going to be the, small tire UTV class right here. So, yeah, you know what?
He's the only one that's a Can-Am.
Yeah, no, that's a Polaris.
It is a Polaris?
Yeah, Quinn signed up in the UTV class with his ATV, which doesn't really make sense, but let him run it.
I thought I heard it sounded like a Can-Am in the background.
It does kind of sound like that. I think that's one of the new Polaris Turbo Rs with the 4-cylinder. This is the one that's got all the hype behind it right now, the 4-cylinder Polaris.
Yeah.
And I see one of the front tires ain't really pulling that good.
Nope.
Well, there she goes. She's coming on. But if you look at his setup, you notice he's on a pair of Maxxis Rockzillas, which are amazing tires. It is the tire that I run for King of the Hammers. It's a tire that's won King of the Hammers the past 2 years in a row, but not exactly a mud tire that you're going to want in a bounty hole. I can appreciate what he's doing, but my boy's fighting a losing battle right now.
He's trying. You know, the front driver side is not turning.
Ooh, that's not what you're going to want to see in a mud hole.
Definitely not, and that's why he's probably not pulling through. So they're going to either, if he can't get out, they're just going to have to bring out the dozer and pull him out. Look at that.
Yeah, my man's struggling on that same center obstacle that we saw earlier, which honestly may really create a problem for side-by-sides. The ATVs could kind of skirt beside it, where the UTVs, they really are going to have a hard time getting around the edge of that.
Well, and a lot heavier, so whatever's underneath there is going to sink it in. But he is completely stopped right now, just trying to get it moving somehow or another over that obstacle.
My boy.
They're going to have to fill up the water again after this.
Yeah, that's what you call slinging heads right there. My boy's sending it to the moon, you know. A lot of throttle, a little traction.
Very little traction.
Yeah. lot of people say, you know what, in Jay, Oklahoma, ton of rock crawling, rock bottom. Where are they getting this mud from? It's a simple enough concept, right? Simple math. A little dirt, a little water.
Yep.
You can make a mud hole anywhere you want.
Little dirt and a lot of water. They've been pulling from the creek that's right here and also bringing the water trucks in. So
look at that.
They've been keeping it filled up. But you know what? It rained so much here yesterday. I'm sure that helped out with the Highlifter course here, not having to bring so much water in
Definitely a little natural saturation helped him out.
Here
my
comes
boys.
the recovery crew.
Yeah. My boy's looking under, trying to see what's going on with his rig. Probably seeing why that front left tire wasn't pulling that good. He got a smile on his face, so.
That might be Colton Rhodes because it looked like it said Woolly Welding on his shirt.
Woolly Welding.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, this has a W, so we'll just say that this was a run by. Oh, nope. No, that's Quinn. We're going to say this run was by Mr. Colton Rhodes from Wright City, Missouri. Sponsored by Woolly Welding and Fabrication. My man's got a cool-looking little cage on that, you know.
It's low profile.
Yeah, I like it. I saw him driving around the parking lot a little while ago. Really good-looking rig. Really cool-looking rig.
I saw one over there for sale that you could have bought and came out and ran it, but you brought all your own toys.
Yeah, but I
need
something for rent is what I need, not for sale. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anybody's going to rent to you, Dustin.
Yeah, that's the problem is I'm kind of on a blacklist when it comes to rentals. People really know what ends up happening to them.
Yeah. I mean, you said that Jeep's a rental you have with you?
Yeah, it is. That's what I brought. I literally brought a rental out here to go rock crawling for the rest of the weekend. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not opposed to entering that Jeep into the Bounty course.
Oh, my God. Hopefully you got the insurance.
I'm going to put him in the medium tire. Maybe I go for the big tire UTV class. Somebody go get my keys. Let's run this.
Oh, let's go. Can I co-drive? Actually, there's no passengers, I believe, in
Of
here.
course you can co-drive. Uh-oh, my boy might not have picked a good spot to tow from.
It's going to go. It'll slide it down,
possibly. One thing I've noticed with our shop out of Louisiana, S3 Power Sports, is custom cages are getting really popular. And this is a good example of why they are. That's a really cool-looking rig. It drastically changes the look of a stock profile cage. Mm-hmm. So high doors, low cage, really cool-looking setup. And realistically, when I saw him get out, he was pretty clean from the shoulders down. So obviously, low cage, high doors kept him a little clean.
It's stealth looking.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Can-Ams out here with low profile cages like that, and they look really good. Obviously, I own Can-Am too, so I'm a Can-Am fan. But yeah, it's pretty cool to see these cages like that. They do make them look totally different, and like you're saying, the aftermarket cages, it's really key, especially when you're doing stuff like this. Is you don't want to be coming out here and doing the stuff in stock cages. I don't, anyways.
Definitely.
I always make sure I have aftermarket,
especially when you go check out the short course racing and stuff going on there.
Yeah.
One of the big things that we do right now is building full short course chassis, and for people that didn't get to see the live feed of short course, you can go back and watch that. But you'll see a lot of our chassis running out there, and it's become such a popular thing. Like, we get these rigs completely stock form, bring them in the shop, pull everything off of them, all the plastic, all the wiring harness, engine out of them, all the drivetrain, build the chassis to strengthen them up, build cages that are actually welded and attached to the chassis to come out here and race it. And so, like you said, you really don't want to do a lot of aggressive racing and even hard riding without a custom cage, just as a safety factor,
it's 100%. I mean, you see people do it all the time, and, they're good, but it's just, a little extra safety feature makes me feel a little bit better when we're out trail riding or doing whatever. But, yeah, so you just said something about the short course. So today we just had our heat races, and we're doing our main events tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune in if you want to watch the short course. It's our round 6 of Side-by-Side Championship Series. And, yeah, you're right. I know Jen Mayo's running an S3 cage and everything on her car. So there are lots of S3 Power Sports products out here at Mid-America.
Yeah, we got a lot of good racers out here representing. So
yeah, you need to get out here and do some short course.
I know, man. The desert racing keeps me so tied up. And, that's a huge thing for us. Going from Louisiana all the way out west for those desert races, that's a 20-hour drive each way that we have to get our cars out of there. So it makes it a little tougher.
Yeah, I've done that drive myself
it's
for
tough,
hammers.
Right? Yeah.
It's just, it's definitely tough. Let's see who
we got another UTV going into the pit, taking a little different approach. Instead of going full wood diving in the pit, he's going to pick his line. He's going to take his time. He's going to scrub the wall and try to get some traction. Uh-oh. He found that obstacle right there. He found that obstacle.
Trying to go around it.
He might get crossed all the way around it. I think he did. I think he got just past it. So that was.
Yeah, he like did a little S-turn in there.
Yeah, it looked a little slower in the beginning, but now he's past that obstacle. He's making really good progress. This may end up being the first full pull in a UTV.
Oh, right there at the end, there's another little bit of a lip, but there he is.
My man,
out.
right through there. Not a bad run either. Smart approach. Start slow, finish strong.
I like it.
Really wasn't a bad run. That was honestly a pretty good pace because I think we just heard he ran a 35-second run in the bounty pit, and so that actually was a pretty solid run.
That's a solid run for sure, and if he's the only one that makes it, then it's a great run.
Yeah, that's true. If somebody was willing to use a little more throttle on start than he did to jump out there a little farther and follow his line, that would be a good run.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see that he obviously was probably off to the side watching all the ATVs go, and so he knew that there was an obstacle about in that area, so it looked like he was just trying to maneuver around it because these are the small tire UTVs, and they could belly up on the, not belly up, but they could get stuck on the belly of whatever that obstacle is underneath there as well.
Yeah, get good high centered on there for sure.
Yeah. You can see Joey out there right now. They're in HIGHLIFTER. They're over there making sure everybody's all good to go.
So let's see if we've got any more small tires. I think we only had 3 sign up in the class. One was my buddy Quentin Daniels signed up in the UTV class in an ATV. Well, it's because he's only got an ATV, so they're probably over there arguing about if they're going to let him race or not.
Oh, because, fair's fair.
Yeah, fair is fair. But my boy, if there's a race to be had, he's going to race somebody. That's just kind of what you expect out of our group.
Yeah, you guys definitely like to have fun, that's for sure. I know we met, back in the desert way back when, but let's see here. We have some events coming up in 2023. It's the Off-Road Products Expo, January 6th, 7th, and 8th in 2023 at Hot Springs Convention Center in Hot Springs, Arkansas. So that's going to be really cool to see, and they're sponsoring the event here. So that is an event you'll want to make sure you look out for in January.
I always like the expos. I like going out and checking things out, and there's always some cool products out there, cool builds, and just fun stuff to see, kind of how the sport is advancing and new things that are going on, new products, concepts people are coming out with. So it's also fun to come out here and see some of these builds. So we haven't even got to the big UTVs yet, and that's going to be some wild stuff. Like when you walk around and check out the fabrication on that, some of them you can tell they built them in their backyard. Some of them you can tell some custom shops put a lot of work into building these big UTVs.
I'm excited to see the Unlimiteds go.
Yeah, those are the wild ones for sure.
So speaking of expos, I was actually in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee last weekend, and they had that Jeep invasion. I saw lots of S3 there. I guess I should have realized there was Jeep stuff because I saw it on Jeeps there.
I guess there's only one way for you to learn.
Were you guys not there?
We were not there, but it's nice to see our parts out there at these events.
You guys, you should.
We're going to hit Jeep Invasion. We're going to hit Going Topless down in Crystal Beach and all those Jeep events. We're going to try to hit those in 2023.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, you're a busy man, so hitting as many as you can, I can see trying that. But who is this going on here?
This is going to be a little Can-Am X3 and looks like a medium tire class if I had to guess.
So, and that looks like a tiny guy in there, so that is probably Brian Fulcher.
My man making another run at it. They brought a whole crew of rigs.
They must have a couple semis to bring all the stuff they have.
The little twin Mohawks in there, so I'm going to say that's Brian Fulcher. But going back.
Oh, and here he just took the green flag
here. Oh,
here.
yeah, my man's giving us some throttle. That's for sure.
Well, and he's already done it, so he knows what to avoid.
See, that's what you get when you run a bunch of throttle. You see the front end stop pulling, so that's going to be a front differential, both front axles or potentially a front drive line. So that's the dangerous part of going real heavy throttle right off the jump. You see the front end's not pulling.
It looks like that might be Dad right there, all in the mud right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of what we talked about earlier of that ATV that he got that really hard run and that skim on. That's one of the lightest vehicles that you're going to be able to do that on. When you start getting these heavy rigs that are real high horsepower and hit hard, you can't hit the holes like that. You got to drive with a little more finesse than that.
Too much stuff to break, but they're obviously getting the measuring tape out and getting the recovery. I love that they have a camera on the bulldozer.
That's a cool perspective there, dragging those guys out.
That's not a bulldozer. What is that called?
We'll call it a track hoe.
Track hoe?
I don't know.
An excavator.
Is that politically correct? Or we should call it excavator. Got it.
Excavator.
Yeah, no more. We'll call it excavators. Sorry. But it looks like they're using the grappling claw on the excavator to drag my man out.
Yeah, they measured him up, so he's all measured and everything.
You say
a bulldozer. I know what a bulldozer looks like.
Yeah, that's definitely not.
Oh my goodness.
But you say they took a measurement. I see those dudes back there with their cell phones out and pens and pads like they're writing down, doing complicated math. I'm not sure we got a real accurate measurement from our old bearded boy in the back. Shout out to the guys out there helping. They're doing an amazing job.
Oh, goodness. I love it that the little kid didn't even have to get out. What was that? His name's Brian again?
Yes,
oh, wow.
Yes.
So we still have – so he's the youngest in that class. We have 5 entries is what it says here.
Yep. Oh. One of the entries in the class is going to be, again, Mr. Quentin Daniels signed up on the Can-Am ATV.
Well, they didn't let him go last time.
I'm going to say they're not going to let him run in this class either.
He tried.
Yeah,
he tried.
He literally flipped through every page. He signed up in every class. Big tire UTV, small tire, medium tire, all the ATV classes. So
he has some sponsors here. Warranty Killer Performance, obviously S3 Power Sports, System 3 Off-Road, and Can-Am. What is Warranty Killer Performance? Is that a MUD brand item? So Warranty Killer Performance is actually Quentin Daniels. That's the driver. That's his performance shop. So they do tuning over there. Okay. They do clutching for ATVs, UTVs. They do performance-built transmissions, aftermarket-built differentials. Like, they do a ton of performance accessories and parts for it. So he's kind of out here representing himself today. There you go. And I can appreciate the enthusiasm of signing up in every class. On your personal race cars, does he do work on it then, or no? I don't often give away my performance secrets. So nobody does. Quinn and I have a good relationship. Oh. And we work together. I'll just say that. There you go. Or you have worked together. Yeah. So he's definitely got a lot of cool aftermarket parts for ATVs and UTVs coming out of his little shop. That's good to know. I didn't know that. And he's very active. You see him out here running, testing stuff. So he's got one of his tunes on his ATVs. And wasn't that his Dodge y'all got stuck? It was. We were testing and tuning that day. Now that I think about it. Burying his 10,000-pound mega cab, trying to launch the jet skis. I got to ask. I mean, we're kind of on some downtime for a second. Yeah. What were you guys doing in a swampy area trying to put jet skis in? So I'll tell you right now, my grandpa has always told me the lazy man works the hardest. And so that swampy area that you saw was kind of a graded drop-off into the river by our shop. So the actual public boat launch was like 10 miles from the shop. Okay. This graded, grassy hill was about 2 miles from the shop. So I was like, Quentin, let's not go down to the public boat launch. Let's just stop right by the shop, back your truck down the hill. Let's launch the jet skis right here. And so 6 hours later. I was going to say, how many hours? 6 hours later, we should have just drove 10 miles to the public boat launch. Right. And that's a lesson learned, ladies and gentlemen. The lazy man works the hardest. And there you go. Well, we see him getting pulled out right there. Hopefully they weren't running multiple people in that car for this class. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. We lost our entry list for just a few minutes. If I had to guess, seeing how this team runs, they had about 4 people running the same car in this class. They was just going to take turns on it. So. Yeah, and I'm sitting there saying probably bringing out a semi for everything. But I see Carson Bell over there on the side. He's one of our UTV racers. Yes. All right. Let's see who else we got in this class lined up to run. We're in the medium class now, correct? I think we're in the medium UTV class. Robert Parker, so dad of Brian, hopefully was not running that Can-Am. He's supposed to run. We have Colton Rhodes, Jay Blassingame, and Quentin Daniels. Well, I mean, realistically, with the things going, if they allow Quentin to run in this class, he might get a podium spot today. If they let him. If they let him. All right. It sounds like we do have Robert Parker going next. He's the 38-year-old dad of Brian and Tristan. Let's see what he's climbing into. I'm trying to look over my shoulder here at the course, see if he's going to hop into that same Can-Am. Well, he won't. If they just had to tow it out. Well, my man might try a 2-wheel peel. You know what I mean? Slinging heads to the moon and 2-wheel drive. I've done that. Oh, goodness gracious. If you ever went to high school in a country town, you had a set of buckshots on a 2-wheel drive S10. And you would just go DR without ever letting off, and a 2-wheel drive S10 with buckshots will go. So he may be. Well, he's in a. That's
He may be pulling that move. He may be pulling a 2-wheel
Polaris
pill.
that's on the line, though, and it says he's in a Can-Am.
Okay, well, maybe he just borrowed somebody's from the crowd. It looks like he's got a small tire on it, so he may just say, you know what? Let me borrow this. Let me borrow this. We'll split the money. Looks like he's taking it a little easier, so it's probably a borrowed rig that he found in the parking lot just now.
I mean, in reality, he's just got to beat the one time that went through. And then
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, no, because Brian was the first one in the medium class.
Yeah.
So
well, and he's moving on. He's going to go ahead and get a full pull out of this one. So
there
wherever
he
he got that borrowed parking lot vehicle, he just made a full pull in it.
That's not one of the Mid-America rentals, is it?
Oh, I saw a Mid-America sticker on it, so we'll say it is. Oh,
hopefully
speaking of.
Hopefully he got the insurance on that one.
But yeah, that ain't no lie. Speaking of, if you want to come out here to Mid-America, you don't have something to ride, you want to have a good time, they got rentals out here. You can show up with nothing but a wallet and a credit card and go have some fun out at Mid-America.
I mean, you don't really – all you have to do is pack a suitcase and make sure you have your wallet in your pocket, and you will get your Polaris.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all got rentals for the pit bike racing. Oh, yeah. The racing's not over. I don't even know what time is the pit bike race today.
He's saying you're racing, Dustin.
Oh, my whole group is racing.
Are
you serious? Yes. I'm in my race uniform right now, T-shirt and jorts and a backwards hat.
Jorts. I'm missing out on the jorts over here. I think we should get my husband sitting next to us. We need to get him some jeans and make him some jorts.
Yeah, Daddy Hall, where's a pocket knife? Let's make some jorts right now.
He's got the pocket knife.
My man said I don't leave home without it.
No, actually he did leave home without it. This was in his toolbox. No, he got a payday in his pocket.
Oh, okay. He thought a payday candy bar was his pocket knife. Man, I'm glad something didn't pop off in the parking lot. You wouldn't have been ready. We got somebody staging up in the 2-wheel drive Can-Am X3. My man is going to make his best effort at it.
That's when you pin it to win it.
Yeah, if we go back, I'm going to say that run was Mr. J.
Blassingame.
I'm not good.
Blassingame.
That was the previous Razor that just made a run, I believe.
It would either be Jay Blassin.
Colton was the first one, I believe.
Oh, yeah. And the –
Yep.
What did you say, the Pro R? He's the one that got towed out first.
Yep, that's right. And then we had Mr. J. Blassingame make a full run.
Only one that's made it, yeah.
Another man. Actually, that was him from earlier with no sponsors. He's just got none listed for sponsors.
None. Not available.
I can appreciate my boy coming out here and making a run. He just had a pretty good run a second ago.
Well, got S3 here. He should – oh, see? Pin it to win it.
Yeah, my boy might leave out of here in 0-wheel drive if he keeps on at that rate.
But look at this.
Yep, that's it.
Oh, he's stuck right there.
Might as well put on a show. That's going to be it.
Yep, he's not going any farther right there, but he tried.
You know what? That's a bold strategy, Cotton.
What's he? Oh, there. He's already getting the toe strap out. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Just get me now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done.
Look, he's calling the kid to hook him up.
I'm no pro at mud racing, even though I am a pro at mud racing. And I think I would have taken my time and taken a little better line, maybe scrubbed down that wall, especially since he was in 2-wheel drive.
Yeah, stay to the left-hand side there.
Exactly, to get a little bit more traction, get as far as we could. But I think he threw caution to the wind.
He tried.
He said, I want to take this thing home fully broke. Let's just drag it onto the trailer. And made as far as it could go.
I wonder what else they're racing.
Yeah, that whole group.
Look, your buddy did. Look at him.
I told you. He signed up in every single class there is.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, there he
is again. Quentin, oh, my Lord.
Yeah, sign up in 7 different classes. But this is not all the racing that we have today. We started to mention it a little earlier. There's pit bike racing today at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, you're going to get on one. Did Brad provide this pit bike, or did you bring him with you?
Oh, no.
I'm not giving you mine.
No. Mr. Brad Snyder let me know that he would pay for anything that got broken on my pit bike while I'm racing it. Full sponsorship.
Off-Road Syndicate's going to be sponsoring you tonight on those pit bikes, I guess.
He said, ghost ride it if you want to. I'll replace whatever you need. Why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown of the top 3 in the UTV medium tire class. This is 33 to 40.
There you go. And so in that number 3 position, we have Brian Fulcher. He did a 46 feet 1 inch, so he got measured. And then on that number 2 position, Robert Parker, he went 46 6 inches.
Ooh, 5-inch difference. If there's anything I know about 5 inches, that don't sound like much. 5 inches is a lot, boys.
5 inches is 5 inches. And then in that number 1 spot, taking home the number 1 is Jay Blessingame.
That was
21.391.
That was a slow and steady move. I thought, you know what, he's not putting enough effort in. He's just kind of easing through it. He don't want to tear nothing up. but it ended up paying off for him.
Yes, it did, and they're towing him out right now. The recovery crew is definitely going to have their work cut out for them all day long.
They sure do.
So you brought helmets, right, for the pit bike racing?
Oh, no, I brought a backwards hat, which is the equivalent to a DOT helmet. Kids, do not listen to me. But with my group, a backwards hat is the same as a DOT helmet.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't live that away, y'all.
That's hilarious. I actually saw somebody riding a street bike.
Yeah.
It was like a Harley or something, and their helmet that they had on looked like a hat on backwards, but it was a helmet. I've never seen that before.
I like that setup, too. Listen, I hear a little – I didn't even have to look back. I knew that was a Honda on the rev limiter. You can hear that old single-cylinder motor just tapping out over there.
I can't wait to see that big old Can-Am go.
Yeah, that one's a big tire one. There's going to be one or two things happen. It's going to make it look easier. It's going to
make it or break it.
It's going to be it's going to be a long day.
You're making it or break it, or you're pinning it to win it.
If we were taking bets and we referred to Mr. Christian Hall with his reference, I can tell by his hand gesture he's saying snap, crackle, and pop. We're calling that one Rice Krispies before the end of the day.
That's a good one. Oh, no.
What do we have up next? Now that it's got to be the big tire UTVs, right?
Yeah, because they were going small, big, medium, and then unlimited.
Maybe they're going to unlimited quads because that was that Honda getting revved to the moon over there.
Let's find out.
As high as a Honda revs.
Oh, they're switching sides. We're going to have front and center because it is going to be going right here behind us. So we're going to get to see more of the action because the big wheels are going in a deeper hole than what we were just watching.
They are. So from the helo footage, you can't quite tell. If they were to zoom back, you'll see dual bounty hole pits. That's because one was built for small and medium tires. One was built for big tires.
So it's an unlimited class. The size of tire is 42 inches and up.
Mm-hmm. And when I told you a minute ago 5 inches is a lot, 42 inches and up is going to be big boy stuff.
Let me get this this injury list in order here.
We'll just take wild stabs in the dark. I'm going to say there's going to be some Fulghams in there. There's going to be some Parkers, and there's definitely going to be a Quentin Daniels in there.
So an unlimited ATV class right here. We're going to have... Where is it at? Unlimited. Well, or unless they're just warming up and not. Well, they're going. They're going. So we have Robert Parker, Nathan Parker, Brian Fulcher, and Jeffrey Wiseman.
You know about mud racing. And you can see in this bounty pit, there's going to be a really gnarly little culvert right there in the middle. So that obstacle that you couldn't see underwater that was hanging people up, now you can see what could potentially definitely hold people up in this hole. It's about the same distance, I believe, probably the same length if I had to guess. 150 foot, is that what we're calling it?
I don't know. You said 5 inches is 5 inches, so 5 feet or 5 feet.
Ooh, you got to get it where you can. Well, this one's going to have the big culvert in it.
Oh, yes. I wonder if there's one hiding back there that we didn't see that they kept getting stuck on. Well, I guess not because it wasn't all the way across.
It didn't seem like it. It seemed like a big rock right in the center or something like that.
Very, very true. And that finish line right there.
You know what? While we're sitting here waiting, why don't you just give a shout-out to all of our sponsors?
All of our sponsors right here. Let's see here. Where's my list here? We have off-road. Well, got me. All right. We have Best in Oklahoma. So we have Ford. We have Evo.
Whoa. Slow it down. Slow it down. We've got the Best in Oklahoma Ford dealership. Right. Who out there loves a Ford? You already know your boy is driving Ford. Actually, I do have a rental Jeep. But just before this,
I'm a Ford person.
I am too. Let's keep it going.
Since Ford's at the park, too.
Some of my boys. Evolution Power Sport.
They take care of you, I believe, right?
Big tunes, big horsepower. These boys are making stuff.
You just gave away some of your info that you said
No. I don't put this on my race cars. Yes, I do. Yes, I do use Evolution on my race cars. And
then we have Fuel Works. They have a really cool setup up at the Power Sports Center showing how their little system works. We have Gates Belts, G-Force. HIGHLIFTER, who is this MUD-N-MAYHEM is presented by HIGHLIFTER. HMF exhaust. If you ever want to sound like a professional drag racer and wake everybody up in the campgrounds, shout out to HMF equipped exhaust. I do run that on my race car. There you go.
Next is one of my personal sponsors again, Maxxis Tires. Some of the sickest tires on the market. Whenever it comes to rock crawling, we call them lizard fingers because them babies be gripping, not slipping. And
Maxxis Dave is here. I'm sure you've already said hi to him.
Of course.
But then we have MRT Tires. They're also one of the sponsors here. Polaris, we were talking about you can come here and rent a Polaris if you want to. We go over here. We got Raceline. They take care of the park, Mid-America Outdoors. So then we got Rugged Radio. I know they're one of your sponsors as well, correct?
They are. If you want to hear halfway across the planet. Oh, and they're launching a rocket to the moon today. I think they're using Rugged.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're using Rugged Radios on it. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they are.
So Rigid Industries, they do the lights. There's all kinds of displays up there. We have Super ATV that's also taking care of the park here. The Off-Road Syndicate, which is Brad, sitting right here to our right.
Then we got TMX Texas Motorsports, those boys over there, and Ultimax Performance Belts by Timken.
And then everything that's wrapped here is wrapped by 360 Wraps. And then we have a new one, Thumper Fab. They came on board here. And this blue Mid-America truck that's sitting right in front of us, that is actually TMX built F-150.
Now we're going to get back to some excitement. Going back to the pit, the first unlimited ATV is lined up, popping and spitting and ready to run. Sure.
All right, so I'm going to step away here. We're going to bring Mr. Scott Rain in here. So, Dustin, it was fun.
It was a pleasure.
I'll see you later on.
Oh, you did an amazing job. And you
always fun. And
you look great today.
Thank you.
But, Scott, put this sweaty headset on coming off of Pam's head. Just slap it right on your ears and don't worry about it. Let's go.
Thanks a lot, Pam. Man, she was having way too much fun up here.
She was killing it, too. I'm glad she's here because I don't feel so great today, and she was doing a good job carrying me.
Yeah, why is that?
We were
working hard?
Yeah, we were at the Caboose yesterday. I forget what it's called. Coconuts. We were out at Coconuts yesterday. Uh-oh. My man's figuring out right off the jump how nasty this unlimited pit is. This is immediately you see the difference between this and the small tire pit.
Do I see a rear steer?
If they would get a little, I do see some things bending and twisting. I don't know if he's steering or it's just flexing, but there's stuff moving in the back.
I kind of expect, when I saw this quad come up, if that's what this is.
Yes, kind of.
When he came up the line, backed up, kind of staged in a straight line, and I saw it purge the nitrous.
Yeah.
I'm like, I expected a little bit more off the line.
Yeah, like it would hit a little harder. The thing is with these, when they have this big of a tire, they really have to gear them way down. So you see he's got a lot of RPMs, but real slow tire speed. It's because they have such geared down transmissions and portals on these things that you're barely getting wheel speed out of them.
I'm really surprised that Can-Am hasn't wanted to do this because this is such a focal point.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite a unique thing going on right here. But no doubt about it, you can tell a huge difference between what they did in the big tire pit and what they did in the small tire pit. And I'm going to tell you right now, my man hasn't even nosed up to that culvert yet.
Yeah, there's that point.
Yeah, he's still got, uh-oh.
So what, there's got to be some sort of nitrous failure or something? I mean, is he waiting for just a few feet from the finish to pop it? Or
a lot of times when they're shooting into the pit like that, since it's such a quick drop into the nasty mud, they won't blow the nitrous on it because it would literally come from rocketing off the line to a dead stop. So honestly, after he gets past his obstacle and gets lined up for the finish, he may get on the nitrous.
Those swamp buggies.
Yeah.
Right? Tires very similar to that. Taller.
Yes.
Taller. But they are hard on it, and they tendency to like skip across the top. Why?
Yes.
How would that be different than this?
It's going to be the weight, the power to weight ratio on these things. Okay. So they're still running a factory ATV engine in these things, and even though they do put nitrous and they're getting good power out of them, they're not running like 1,000 horsepower big motor that could skim, you know. But when you go back to that ATV that we saw earlier with the medium tires, his power to weight ratio was up quite a bit higher, so he was able to stay on top for just a minute. We got Brad Snyder from Off-Road Syndicate squirting on me a little bit. Thankfully, it's cooling me off.
Don't say it like that.
Well, I don't know what else to call it. My man is twisted up on this obstacle. Ooh. These big bikes like this, big quads like this, it's hard on them to really get them twisted up like that because they have such leverage on the knuckles and the A-arms with these big drive portals. It's really tough to get them twisted up like that. So you really want to point these as straight as you possibly can.
Well, what kind of power steering do they have on these things? I mean, that's got to be ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's why you're seeing this is full steering lock right there, and you're not getting much steering out. Yes, you're not getting much out of them because it's just an electronic power steering, so they don't have a ton of strength compared to what the size of the tires are. This is really, really going to be a specialized bounty hole vehicle right here. Looks cool, really wild, really big, obviously strong because he's got it in a bind, but it's really made for pointing straight and go through bounty holes. And my man's got to be careful. You really can't get out of the bounty hole, so he's really scrubbing on that edge to kind of pull his nose over, but he's not going to be able to get up on that dry land without some sort of a penalty. He's going to have to back up and reset before he makes a run at the hole.
Man, oh, man. Yeah, I must have a really understanding wife, too.
Oh, what?
Understanding wife?
Yeah.
What are we looking at for a price tag? I mean, obviously, when you get to this size of vehicle,
yes.
we'll call it, all the different modifications, you're pretty much – it's wide open.
It's full custom.
Yeah,
custom.
How much do you want to spend?
Yeah, that is definitely what you're looking at. So you see that thing stretched in the back way beyond a factory quad chassis. They've stretched it, moved the differential back, changed the differentials, built motor, nitrous. Like, they've got so much going on. You're looking at, on these Bounty Hill quads, you're looking at anywhere from like $40,000 to $70,000 to build one of these. Yeah. To point straight and go through bounty holes. My boy is up there huffing and puffing. You can tell he had cornbread for the past couple of weeks getting ready for this race. My man's not built for stamina, if you know what I'm saying.
But he timed out?
And he timed out. First run at the bounty hole, and he did get it pretty tore up. Look at how deep that rear tire is under the mud.
Yeah, that was probably the longest 5 minutes of his life.
When you look at this hole and you look at how nasty that is, especially now he's gone through it, would your first thought be like, yeah, I would try that. Let me try it. I would like to see if I could make that.
See, just like our conversation earlier, if I was in my 30s, I'd hang.
Let's go.
I'd hang with you. Absolutely.
Let's go.
Now, at 60, I'll just spectate my ass off.
Yeah, you enjoy sitting here watching.
Heck yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. Look at that fool. I wouldn't say that, but I'd probably think it. But you know what? I have so much fun just watching this stuff.
Yeah.
Guys like, now, you had, maybe you still have it. Maybe you turned it back into Can-Am. I don't know, but it was brand stinking new.
Yep.
Probably still had the new car smell.
Yes, I know where you're going with this.
What possessed you?
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. That was.
I remember what it was. You were too lazy to get out the hose and
that's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it is. You remember me telling you the lazy man works the hardest?
Yeah.
Well,
you busted your ass.
Yeah. So that came to bite me. So what Mr. Scott is referring to is just a month or two ago, I got a brand new Can-Am 1000 Renegade.
And it wasn't that dirty.
It was brand new.
Yeah.
This is the first ride on it.
Yeah.
And so we took it out. We were just been playing in it, and I wanted to wash it off a little bit before we put it on the trailer. So we're at this lake just outside of town, a rock quarry, vertical cliff edges. And so I was like, let me just run up, splash it a little bit, and get this thing cleaned off. Well, unbeknownst to me, I was a little closer to the drop-off than I thought, and so I went tail over nose, lost a brand-new $15,000 Renegade at the bottom of the lake.
I remember in the video, you were neck deep in the water.
Yeah.
And you must have been feeling it for your toes.
Yes.
Guys, I can't find it. I can't feel it.
We were taking turns diving down where we thought it was at the bottom of the lake. Finally, we found it down there, hooked a winch to it, and drug it out, but needless to say, I've got a mildly used Can-Am Renegade, never been sunk. Only highway miles for sale. If anybody wants to go check out Craigslist in Bossier City, Louisiana, they'll find that one on there. It's really been taken care of, mildly used.
Well,
easy life.
I'm sure that here we go. Who do we have at the line here?
Looks like we got a little Honda. So who's on the Honda in the big tire class? No, that's going to be
medium.
Yeah, here we go.
Is that no? We're at unlimited.
Yeah, we're going to be in the unlimited ATV. Just look for Honda. Here we go.
Out of Cleveland, Texas, Jeffrey Wyman.
Mr. Jeffrey Wyman. And I tell you right now, this dude's not scared to put this thing on the rev limiter. I heard him doing it a few minutes. Look at him stretching that throttle hand out. Nope. They were going to give each other 5 and kind of psyched him out with that deal. Oh, yeah, see.
You can hear the gearing right there.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of gear on this one. A lot of gear.
Now, I'm really surprised. It's like I'm going back to the swamp buggies, man.
Yeah.
The way they skim across the top.
That's kind of what you were expecting?
Yeah.
It's a different animal with these things because you're so limited with horsepower, you have to go for gearing. And so this, I think is going to be a single-cylinder Honda Rincon 500 maybe. I'm kind of guessing. So a single-cylinder Honda motor may be making 30 horsepower, but a whole bunch of gear reduction.
Hey, we got over the...
Oh, he's going back down to first gear. Watch him click second in the Crocs. Is my man in two-wheel drive in the Crocs? He is. He wasn't worried about a thing today.
He's spanking the back of the... Come on, honey.
It wasn't going to pull second, so he just gives it a little whipping and lives it in first. I like how he lives.
Jeffrey out of Cleveland. He's got PSF, TCP, Super ATV, Wicked Performance. And he's cleared it.
There was a lot of movement in that rear end, but dog made it. My man made it. Hey, I seen him in them two-wheel drive Crocs thinking about kicking second. He's like, nah, let me leave her in first. She ain't going to pull second in this one. 61 seconds. I almost fell asleep during that run, but homeboy made it.
Dang.
Look, that's the turning radius that you're looking at.
That from right here, from our angle, looking at it from the back.
Yeah.
Go back to what, 1940, and that reminds me of an old farm-all tractor with the skinny tires.
I don't know what you're talking about because I wasn't around in the 40s, and you were.
Dude, you're from Bossier City. You've seen enough old farm-alls heading up behind the barns.
You said the 1940s. Only you were alive during the 40s.
Okay, that hurts.
But I do know what you're talking about because I've seen pictures. There was those rice field tractors. That's what we call them, rice field tractors.
So what do we got coming up next?
I don't know. Maybe my man's only got first and second gear because he had that thing stretched out and he was moving about 6 miles an hour.
Yeah, he was on the chip. You
Hey.
got a little bit of that pop, 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 pop.
He's over there high-fiving people in pits. First place. He's riding around with a number one finger in the air. But I'm telling him, man, you're just the first one that's made it, so give it time. Relax a little bit. Yeah, if my man didn't trailer it from the parking lot up to the pit, it took him a while to get here. He had to plan ahead to make it to the bounty hole race.
Before it got dark.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go again. Another Can-Am.
Yeah, we do. Another big Can-Am with some bottles on it. Let's see if my boy hits a little harder off the line.
Is there a number on it?
I don't know. I bet I can speculate. It looks like a Mr. Robert Parker is who I'm speculating, just because I recognize him from mud racing. That's going to be Robert Parker.
He's out of Dunn, North Carolina.
He is.
He's got a long inventory list of sponsors here.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Looks like he's on a Can-Am Outlander 1000. Got a couple of juice bottles on the front. You know, we used to run a bunch of nitrous, and I always called my my race bike Tropicana because I said we have more juice than Tropicana. And we would spray the house down.
That is the craziest thing to see these. Oh, there we go. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, he found the culvert, boys. See, that's the danger of having a super high center like that is you start to get that bob where it wants to wheelie over backwards. That's why a lot of the bounty hole bikes you see that are stretched really long so they don't try to wheelie up like this. You see how it's just trying to stand up on him?
Yeah.
It's because those rear tires are getting so buried that it's literally rotating the ATV backwards.
Now, is there any kind of technology, like crazy stuff, like you see in certain off-road trucks that if they're four-wheel drive, you can tap the brake or even lift off the throttle, it shuts off front-wheel drive, enough to rotate the truck, get back on the throttle, it all turns on again. Is there anything technology-wise that for these kind of things?
Man, one thing that these guys really try to do is keep it simple when it comes to straight line mud pits like this. So they've got all four tires locked. They basically put a spool in the front end so that both front tires are pulling all the time. But when you look at what they're doing and their driving technique, I know you don't see a lot going on there, but if you'll see how he's bobbing that thing, he's holding the front end just off the ground to where it kind of rocks forwards and lunges the bike forward. So it's similar to a tractor pull, to where you use the weight of the vehicle to kind of lunge it forward. So when it starts bobbing, he'll chop throttle, and just as it gets the front tires back to the ground, he'll goose it again to kind of lunge it forwards.
No, is this a situation where he should back up like another 10 feet, or that be like?
Personally, I would get a little farther back and take a different line. So he's kind of blown that hole out. I would get over closer to that left side and get out of those deep ruts and take a different line. So it looks like he's going to try to swing a little wider to the right, which I would stay away from because the first guy was in that hole. See, and it drags it over when he hooks the line.
Man.
He's going to make his best run at it. But, man, you see those back tires are so deep in there now. Like, he's created quite a hole there.
Well, how do you get a belt to last through this stuff?
It's only the gear reduction. It's like putting a Jeep in low range. It takes all of the stress off of that transmission transfer case because it's geared down from that point out. So the stress is really on the axles and the portals on this thing, whereas it's a little easier on the belt because it's geared down so far, you know.
I hate to see what those clutch springs look like.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. You see he takes a lot of throttle to get the snap of the tires. It's because he's running a really high stall and clutch spring, what you were referring to. So instead of like easing and kind of slipping the belt till it engages, it snaps into engagement. These things are not built for a long time. They're built for a good time.
And you have one hell of a time.
And speaking of a long time, it looks like my boy, he's kind of
Calling it.
crossed up in the pit, so we may be looking at a timeout. The way he's crossed up, he kind of reminds me of one of my ex-girlfriends that was cross-eyed, you know. And we never could see eye to eye, Scott. It wasn't going to work.
She'd ever want to.
It wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
Maybe she was faking it. It just wasn't going to work out because we never could see eye to eye on things. And that's kind of where the Robert Parker situation is right now. He may be dragging it. Nope, he's crossed up again. I can appreciate my man's effort because that's a lot to manhandle around right there. That's a lot of quad right there.
Yeah, he's a little on the messed up side. Yeah, he's going to – gosh. Everyone's got their own opinion of, okay, you got to do this. Oh, go do this. Go do that. It's like –
You pick a line already? Yeah. Where are you going to run? You swear to fight goes? Bro, you got to drag that right. No, they're not letting me run.
we got Dustin right now kind of coaching one of his guys that's here that's going to be going out there in a bit.
You know what? Come on in here, Quentin. We're gonna bring one of the bounty hole racers that ran just a minute ago and get his.
I think we got a headset right over here. Yeah.
Can you walk around to this side, Quentin, and slap that on? Can you walk around and put that on?
Come on this side.
Oh, my man did make it over,
and he didn't take a bath before he got here.
He just got a red flag, so he might have got timed out. So we're bringing in.
Don't get me.
One of our racers that we were mentioning a little while ago, Mr. Quentin Daniels, that ran in the medium tire ATV class. Now, Quentin, you were signed up for every class. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, we signed up for every class. We didn't know what the turnout was going to be because we pulled in the park. We didn't see no Bud bikes, but apparently there must have been an enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
They had all the
secret weapon.
They must have rolled in at 2:30 for the drivers' meeting because there was not a single mud bike in the park. And then all of a sudden, some full-blown race bikes came out of retirement.
Yeah, they did. They brought a really good pack of bikes out here to finish, right? To run.
Oh, no, yeah. When I was down in the driver's meeting, I was signed up for every class. I'm running a 33, but it doesn't measure up like the Assassinator. It's like, hey, man, I'm signed up for that class, and immediately the parents were like, no, that's a 32 and under class. And I was like, all right.
And
cool.
you were like, grab the tape measure, let's measure tires.
Yeah, I started airing them down, sitting on the bike.
So you could get in the 32 and under class.
They wouldn't have it. Whatever stamped on the sides what we're running. So even with that, bro, the kid class, the bikes they were on, gone. They literally ran faster. They beat their dad.
Yeah, I seen that. And
you
had a pretty good little run right out there. Was the hole nasty? Was it deep? Was it real thick? What was the mud like?
Now that they've got it cleaned out, luckily I was third or fourth through the pass. And luckily I was third or fourth through the pass. They had it cleaned out. You can just feel every rock on the bottom. There's not a lot of traction, but you could literally keep it full pin and it would barely pick the front wheels up. Now the culvert is the wild card, and that's what's like you really don't know. Wherever the bike's going and pointing, I didn't take time to go, all right, I want the left lane because that was where everybody was climbing right over. But when I got up, I was like, all right, cool to pop over. It's too slick.
So we did see a bunch of people getting hung up right in the middle of the small tire, medium tire pit. What was under the water that kept hanging everybody up
the
right
culvert.
there?
There's a full-size culvert on the small tire under the water you can't see.
Yeah.
Has exactly in line where we see the big tire, the small tire, there's an underwater culvert. So, I mean, when you got the bike, it's centered up the bike. There's no traction. You got to get to the wall or get the front tires down. And so some people skipped right across it. Some people got hung up on it. There was setup didn't matter. It was just luck of the draw.
Yeah.
See, okay.
Or if you had a lot of nitrous.
Totally non-mud pit related here.
Yeah.
Parents love it when their kids come home. They're out of the house. They're empty nesters. But they love it when their kids come to visit.
Yeah.
And it's even cooler for like the dad sometimes when their kid brings their buddies home and all cook out in the backyard. What do your parents think
about it? Oh, bringing us home?
About your buddies?
Yeah.
As I look, you were probably, 5'11", 6 foot before they started. Now,
yeah.
With whatever's inside those boots, probably 6'2".
Yeah, he's standing a little taller. Yeah, he's walking a little prouder right now.
Matter of fact, y'all pretty small.
My man's mom is proud of him. You know what I mean? He makes some good decisions in life. He shows up like this. You're going to have to ride your own vehicle back. You're not riding with me. You're not riding with me in a Jeep.
The rental? No?
Yeah. Definitely not riding in the rental one.
Sure.
Yeah.
My elbows are hurting real bad, though, so I was thinking you ride my bike and then I'll drive.
Oh, and you'll drive mine.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
If you boys can see it, he's got nearly all the mud from the bounty hole pit on himself right now.
Yeah. And yeah.
You want to ride with me on the knockout run?
Hell, on the what?
The knockout run.
No.
Oh, are you signed up for the knockout run
Yeah,
too?
yeah. I'm gonna run. I can only run that one class. They're not gonna let me race up.
You were in driver's meeting, so you just ran the straight line bounty hole.
That's right.
There's an obstacle course left and a knockout. Is that right?
Knockout. Knockout is the obstacle course.
Okay,
We're gonna leave from the top ramp, hit this first pit, then you're gonna bring you through the sewer pond over here. They dump all the septic, and then small tire is gonna run the inside lane, and big tire is gonna run the outside lane. They're not letting me race up. Hopefully there's enough trash talking going on where they'll be like, you know what, you can run with us.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we'll see. I don't know. We might, if everybody's bike makes it, I might just start calling them out grudge race after that. You know what I'm saying? If the
Just start putting cash on it.
Yeah. Let's go.
Man.
It's going to be about a week and a half before he gets all that stuff out of his beard.
Yeah.
No, where's
It's
your cabin?
caked in
I'm going to
there.
come to your shower and
Well,
trash
you
it
know
out
what?
and clog up the drain.
Yeah, no. I'm right
I'll
next
have
to
that thing- I'll
I'm
your
right
ba-
next to the pressure washer outside.
I'll have your house looking like the fair bathroom.
See, dude, my wife is 6 foot tall, black hair and blue eyes, and she's from Detroit.
Oh, yes. She will
don't-
cut you.
Dude,
She will cut you.
There's shooting. I'm from Cherokee Park. I don't know if y'all know. We got some street cred coming over there. Detroit is a whole nother animal.
Oh, another
That's the
animal.
big tire class. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
We can't race up.
I'm driving, and she's got the road rage out the window on my side of the car.
She is yelling across you at other
Yeah.
people.
And I'm like, so I'm driving like this with my hands underneath the steering wheel, and she's over the top yelling out the window. And I'm like,
See, me
What's going on here?
and Quentin just talked about this a couple of days ago. We went out to the Brantley Gilbert concert with a bunch of girls.
yeah, I saw. Oh,
And we were backstage with Brantley Gilbert and Jelly Roll. Well, some girls were kind of talking to us because we were backstage with these guys. And so the girls got fired up arguing with the girls in the crowd. And then their boyfriends kind of started yelling. And so we had to tell the girls, like, listen, I know you're yelling at these people, but me and Quentin are going to be the ones that have to fight them and deal with the consequences. So back it down a little bit.
Yeah.
And so when you're in traffic, you're saying your old lady, excuse me, your wife is screaming
Yes.
across you at people in traffic, and you're like, baby, I'm
Out
the
my
one.
window.
I'm the one that's got to deal with this.
Yeah.
So back it down.
Yeah. Well, I never said that. She's from Detroit, remember?
You let her go.
No, I was wondering why he's wearing his collar so tall. She been choking you?
We got another one in the pit, a little renegade. Quentin, thank you for taking time to jump on here with us.
Sure.
Go get stretched
Good
out. Go
meeting
get
you,
ready
man.
for your next race, and come back after you're done and tell us about that one.
I'm about to take a shower and go take a little nap and get ready for the knockouts.
Yeah. Under the lights.
Woo, man.
Okay, so what we got going on here? Would this happen to be
One of the Parkers,
Nathan?
it looks like Nathan Parker from what I
13
can
years
tell.
old? Yeah.
Yes, sir. On a little renegade. 1,000. Ooh, giving her some throttle. I don't know that he put it all the way in gear, but you know what they say with finding them and grinding them.
Well, oh, there we go. Body English.
Yeah, that is what he's doing. Body link is right there.
When he jumped in, and he slowed, he reached up and hit a button, flipped a switch, something on his right side of the handlebars.
Yes.
Come on. Oh,
If he can get that nose over, if he can just drag that nose right over, he might have a good run. And he is going to get it over. Look at him. And now he's going to make a run at it. Woo, a lot of throttle.
Boy, when I hear them do that, they're
Ooh.
on the throttle, but they burp at that one little
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like, to kind of rearrange it, get it pointing in the right direction again?
I will tell you from a look, he's going to make a full pull on that. A good little run. If he can keep it pointed straight and come out clean, he might have a good little run. Uh-oh. That exit climb is what's going to be tough. If he can get enough weight towards that front end to get the nose just out of it, he can pull out. That rear tire's digging down. That's when you start
Hell.
wheeling. So what you see there, when you see him going wide open throttle and you think, hold it down, just keep your momentum. You can actually feel when you're in a mud pit like this, you can feel a tire grab and start to pull the bike one direction or the other. And if you keep it held down, it will literally do a pirouette in spot and get you pointed the wrong direction.
That is really good to know because that's something I never ever thought about.
Because you want it to be like, man, you're in the mud, just hold it down and go. There he goes, came on out. But when you feel it gripping and you feel it pulling, you know, like, this thing's going to spin around if I don't let off.
So, question of the day is, why are you out there? Why are you out there?
Why aren't I out there? Oh, man. I guess because of all my travels that I flew literally back in, got in a truck, drove straight out here just to be a part of this event because I didn't want to miss it. I didn't have time to get a mud bike on the trailer. But if we can find somebody in the parking lot that'll let me run theirs, I'll race today.
If Jason was here, I'm sure he'd have no problem.
He would
There
let me,
you have.
he would
Oh,
let
yeah.
me borrow something.
Yeah.
I do miss it. When you watch it, man, it's fun. The competition, seeing everybody out there having a good time. I do miss a little bit of mud racing when we see it like this, man. But we go mud riding every other weekend. You see my social media.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking you'd be like, got a natural, dare I say that, a natural at this?
Yeah. Well, we'll just say I'm giving everybody a chance to win, too. Because I do it all the time. So we're just saying we're giving them a chance to win.
I've seen, pro athletes that you could tell are just a little notch above everybody else. They have that God-given talent.
Yeah.
You see drivers in NASCAR.
Yes.
Jimmy Johnson,
Just
his
got it.
God-given talent.
Yeah.
Once-in-a-generation driver.
Yeah. Is that what you see when you see me?
In the mud.
I just got it, right?
Yeah.
But we've been doing that our entire lives, so you just it hits different whenever you've been doing that. This is going to be, I believe, full jump. It's going to be Brian, from what I remember from those green Mohawks. It's a 9-year-old Brian Fulcher. I'm sorry, I could pronounce it wrong.
Yeah, Wade, North Carolina.
Yes, sir. 9 years old on a big bike. He actually made it look a little easier. He got over that culvert pretty quick.
Man, making no problem out of that one. Wow. 42 seconds out of that one. I heard from our race officials earlier that it was 117 seconds. Yeah, wave to the crowd. Yeah. So we think is that Brian Fulcher? So, yeah, that's a 33 to 40 inch tire. We got Robert Parker, Nathan Parker, Brian Fulcher, and Jeff Wyman out of Cleveland, Texas. He ran earlier. Yeah. Hey, your buddy walked off with my water.
I seen him just picking stuff up, taking drinks of it. I'm going to be honest with you. I know my buddy, and you're not going to want to drink it after him. You better just let that one go. Let's go through real quick the ATV Unlimited class, 42 inches and above. Let's see what our top 3 guys were. It's, again, Mr. Nathan Parker with a podium finishes. 2 wins earlier and a 3rd place here with a 1. Wait, hold on. Is this minutes or is this seconds? Are we counting 117
seconds?
Well,
yeah.
117 seconds is what we're going to call it. Number 2 is Jeffrey Wyman with a 61 seconds. And taking the number 1 spot is the little man, the 9-year-old Brian Fulcher with a 42 and a half seconds. My man made a run right there at the end. Smoking Pig Barbecue coming in clutch with some Southern-style barbecue
sandwiches. He's got
sandwiches.
some of the coolest T-shirts. I tell you, man. You're looking at me through raised eyebrows. You know about his T-shirts?
No, I'm listening because I want this sandwich that he just brought us.
The slogans at the back of his T-shirts are awesome. I can't repeat one of them online.
I'll go up there and get one, but what I'm worried about is he just brought us some barbecue sandwiches. What is it? Smoked bologna sandwich.
Even
If that
better.
ain't some country Oklahoma stuff, I don't know what is, boy. Smoked bologna. Oh, and it's thick bologna too, boy. I didn't grow up on bologna like this. This is thick bologna. It does look.
It's like a quarter pounder. That's exactly what it looks like, a quarter pounder.
It does. This man must be cutting his bologna cutting bologna by hand. You know what? Let's just take a bite right here in front of his face and see how I like this thing. Initial bite. Look at this. Where's the camera? Y'all, if y'all have ever seen bologna this thick, I ain't never seen bologna like that in my life.
I'm looking right at you.
It's got some good seasoning. I smell a little pepper. I smell some Worcestershire.
Did you put any Vegemite on there?
No, it better not have Vegemite on it. The last thing I had to eat here in Mid-America was Vegemite.
And a little 8-year-old Australian kid.
And it ruined my entire weekend, so I almost don't trust anybody around here to tell me to put something in my mouth.
The best part?
What is it? Okay, got it. Let's just start with this smoked bologna sandwich.
The best part of that whole thing was that the kid from Australia put a little dab on his finger because he's like, well, how much do you take? How much do you eat of this? And the kid reached in and a little, like a little bit of toothpaste size, kind of thing. He, smart one here, goes,
Man.
Well, if you're going that much,
I need more.
I'm going this much.
I need
and
more.
He just goes in that jar. It's like, then how much you put in your mouth? He goes, oh, really? Okay. Oh, it was like putting a big old chewing tobacco in.
You know what? I'm going to have to go home and have a talk with my mom because I realize My bread to bologna ratio growing up was not right. You have, what is it called? Smoked pig barbecue has the bologna to bread ratio perfected. The season is dialed. You need to go get a smoked bologna sandwich from this man. Killing the game.
Meanwhile, we're missing a little action on the course.
I'm going to Google reviews right now. Unlimited UTV in the pit right now, making easy work of it. Maybe it's the wheelbase, maybe it's the driver, but my man's making easy work of that.
Is that under 30 seconds? Holy cow, where are we at on this?
I would say this is going to be the unlimited UTV.
Okay.
And that's going to be one of the little guys. So I'm going to think.
Is that Nathan Parker?
Man, that was a fast run. So if we go back to the unlimited ATV class, the fastest run was a 42.5 second. This man in the Can-Am X3 UTV unlimited class just ran a 35 seconds through the bounty hole. That was a good run.
Wow. Now it's my turn on this bologna sandwich.
And I can tell because my man can't see over the hood of the UTV. It's going to be one of the little guys. So that's maybe going to be a Parker, maybe going to be a Folger. I see Robert Parker out there standing beside the car talking to him. So maybe we're looking at Mr. Nathan Parker on that run.
What were you doing at 13 years old?
Man.
You started terrorizing your mom and dad.
Yeah, mud riding. And I had Red Ryder BB gun at that time. That's like when my dad gave me my first BB gun. So there wasn't a cat around the neighborhood. There wasn't a bird in a tree that was safe at that age.
So now we got a Polaris. So this is Chad Clenworth out of Fort Worth.
Mr. Clenworth. He is using that slow crawl method. I like where he's at, you know.
I got to tell you a story about my dad's first gun safety lesson for my brother and I. One Christmas, this is no lie, no exaggeration. Here we go. Once again, Chad's making it look pretty easy too.
He really is. That wheelbase is helping him out a lot. Slow and steady and smooth is what he's doing. But I don't think he's running that bad of a time.
No.
He's moving along pretty good. My man right there is cornbread too. That's for sure, for sure. You know that driver's head tires is getting some traction in that one.
Well, his number one sponsor, Scoop and Groove.
Scoop and Groove, I'm going to say that's.
Monster Rigging Off-Road, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like maybe that's a cereal brand or something. What a Scoop and Groove.
I'm thinking tires.
Oh, it is. What was the run?
55-0.
55 seconds. 50 seconds. 5-0. That was a solid little run right there. Probably going to put him. I'm not good at simple math. I think that puts him up in second place right now.
Anyways, my dad got us BB guns back in the day, daisies. And this is back, mid-60s. Shut up.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And this is when they had some juice behind them. And he still pumped the hell out of them, right? Come here, you two. Come here.
Everybody knows that 10 pumps wasn't enough. You go to 12 or 15.
He had one little rifle in one hand and one in the other. Come here. We walk up to him. We didn't know what we did because he's had that mannerisms like we did something wrong.
Yeah.
Shoots me in the big toe. Shoots my brother in the big toe.
This is your dad doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There. Let that be a lesson. Don't ever point these things at anybody.
You see what it feels like on your big toe?
Uh-huh.
Don't shoot anybody else
He
with
drops
this.
the guns and walks away.
That makes sense. Did you ever
Lesson learned.
Yeah, okay. You learned a good lesson there.
Oh,
I like how your dad teaches you. You know, that's what I call fighting fire with fire. But you go ahead and start out with a control burn. It's a control burn so that in the future you don't have no problems. My boy's over there warming his X3 up. I feel like he probably should have started on that a little while ago.
So,
I don't think this run has snuck up on him, but I mean,
now who would this be?
it's a another big Can-Am, and he hasn't ran. It might have ran yet, so there may be a. Let's just speculate on it. It's not going to be either one of the Parkers, so it's going to be this one or this one.
Jeffrey Wyman out of Cleveland, Texas. He's ran before earlier.
He did run.
And Jeff Stroud out of Hallsville, Texas. But I will say this. We had horses when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
My brother's horse wasn't broke yet. So he wanted to go riding, so he had to ride my horse. I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow, the gearing on this thing.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the same rig with Mr. Robert Parker in it right now. That's going to be the dad's run.
Cleared the culvert, no problem there.
And he is on the gas right now. On the gas.
That's what I like to see right there. That's a show.
Yeah, that's what we were hoping for right there. That's a real run in the bounty hole.
Got to be under 40.
And coming out the other side with a clean run.
Whoa, 20, 45? I thought I said it. 25. We got a new leader, dude.
My man with a 25-second run right there.
He's the new overall leader.
Yeah.
Overall.
In the unlimited UTV. Daddy coming to show him how to do it. He must have heard us on the broadcast kind of making fun of him for his son beating him in the other 2 races. Daddy coming in clutch right now, putting down a heater.
So anyways, my brother was riding my horse and ticked me off. So I go around the backside of the house where he couldn't see me. I'd pluck a couple of BBs into the horse's rear end.
Yeah.
Horse would buck up.
Throw him off,
and then I go riding.
Yeah, and then, so brother didn't want to ride your horse after that. This thing's always bucking. Here we go. Another big UTV. Big 4-door for more stores. You can pick more stuff up in this one. Oh, he's moving on.
Haven't seen this one run before.
Man. No, that's going to be I think the Jeff Stroud one. He's scrubbing that wall. He definitely put down our heater. My boy opened the back door just in case somebody wanted to hop in during the run. You know what they say about 4 doors? You can hit more stores.
17. Wow.
17 second runs in the 4-door.
Dude, I'll put money on it. I'll put $50 up that you can't run on the dirt, not in the mud. You can't run on the dirt in 17 seconds from one end to the other.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not running nowhere. But you could bet somebody else that they couldn't run that in 17 seconds.
It was you or nobody else.
Yeah, I'm definitely not running it. So you're gonna win. You're gonna win that one for sure. 4-door, and boy was on the floor. He came out with a 17-second run. That may be for sure. That's the fastest run in that pit of the day. Was there even any in the small tire class that ran a 17?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think anybody got under 30 in the.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought that grocery getter wasn't gonna make it through the pit. My boy needs a field to turn it around. He's on about the 6th backup. But still put it down today. He's cruising through the pits, pulling the trip, pulling just the number 1 in the air, holding it to the sky, letting them know.
Yeah, great show. I'd like to hear the high RPMs, water and mud going everywhere.
Robert Parker put on a good show in his X3. When you get a lot of high RPM and wheel speed, that's when it's fun to watch. We got a recovery team out there, our Mid-America recovery team. Can we just say that track, not Traco, you can't call it that. Can we say that excavator, yeah, thank you. Can we say that the excavator is sponsored by you and I today? Can we just say that?
Why would I want to do that?
Because just to take some credit, you and I can take credit for something today. Recovery team is what we're going to take credit for. I'll take credit for it. Doesn't bother me.
Let me think about it. I got something, but I got to think about it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know who's watching. I know some of us don't care who's watching, but some of us do. Hence,
shout out to whoever handles the excavation. I'm going to tell them it's me until y'all call us or text us and let us know it's you.
Oh, I like the high amount of pepper that this thing is
rolled
in.
Yeah, he's got me breathing through my mouth. It's so spicy. Smoked pig barbecue. Got me breathing through my mouth, boys. Kind of got my nose running. Yeah. Yeah, the edge of the bologna got some heat on it. And I chewed on the right side too much, so the whole right side of my tongue is going numb. He didn't say he had cayenne in it. Huh? Shane, are you getting an itching? Shane. Man, that was the thickest bologna I've ever had in my life. I feel like that's more of like a ham sandwich. Is bologna and ham the same thing?
I think isn't bologna like everything pork? Things that it's kind of like, no, bologna isn't just this side of Spam.
Just ground up meat. Everything except the teeth and the toenails. Teeth and the hair.
Tail.
It is. It's like a hot dog flattened out. Yeah. Yeah. No, you put it between your teeth and you feed the red string and get all the extra off of it. Yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah. Yeah.
How many times in your life have you heard your parents say, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Oh, no. Even still now they say that to me.
Oh, yeah.
And when I'm like, man, you won't believe what we did this weekend. Mom and Dad's like, just don't worry about it. Oh, is he running again?
Another can in.
I think it's the same one.
Yeah.
Just a new driver. Listen, they just pass stuff around and borrow rigs around here. And you know it's a family affair.
Well, it's got to be one of the Parkers.
Yeah, probably surely it is. As many Parkers have been racing today, it's got to be one of them. Man. Woo.
21.
That was a good little run, but we only got a 21 out of that one. Puts him into second place.
Yeah, but there's a smell in the air of something that wasn't right.
Yeah, I kind of smelled a little burning oil after that run.
Yeah.
Woo! My boy had some RPMs coming out of that thing and a little bit of something making heat. My man, thank you. My four-door been making runs back and forth to the grocery store over and over again. He needs all the parking lot to get her pointed back the other direction, though.
So let me get this right.
Let's hear it.
That's my cooler with all the water and Gatorade in it.
Right here, that I've been taking drinks out of.
Oh, that's fine. But a guy came up here,
Yeah.
grabbed one out,
Yeah.
gave it to you, and walked away.
Yeah.
Didn't even look at me.
Didn't ask, didn't check, just took himself one, gave me
I
one.
just love it. See,
Mr. Scott, in the Bounty Hole Unlimited UTV class with 42-inch tires and above, can you give us the top 3 rundown right here?
there we got it. Third spot. Geez, one of the Parkers. Go figure. Third spot would be Robert Parker at 25.2. Second place, Jeff Stroud with 21.8. And Jeff Wyman with 17.8.
I don't know whose Can-Am that was because Jeff Stroud and Jeff Wyman both ran it, but I feel like I know who owned it and I feel like I know who rented it. I'm going to say the 21 second of Jeff Stroud was the owner and the 17 second of Jeff Wyman was the renter.
Yeah, I go with that.
Everybody knows, like, when you don't have to pay for it in full, you can go a little harder in the paint.
Is that what you go on?
That's what I go on.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, can I borrow your pickup truck later? I need to haul something up.
Thank God it's not here.
Okay, fair enough.
And you'll never know what it looks like.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's a great shot of the facility.
Man.
You got short course almost directly in the middle of the picture. You got the mud hole right here at the bottom of the screen. But then if you go towards the top, there's the pits, the campground, the kind of like that little goofy triangle.
Yep.
That's the lazy river and the water park and cabins and pits. But then you go way off to the left.
Yes.
More.
Yeah, this place keeps going. What
More.
I really, really like about this park that you can't really get in video right here is the elevation changes out here. And so that's a couple of 100-foot elevation change from the bottom of the short course all the way up to the bounty hole. And so the short course runs up the banks. You throw it up these walls. They got big Daytona turns on it. Like that short course is fun. And the bounty hole pit right here that we're looking at is way on top of the hill. What's that back there in the back? I see another course back
Pit
there.
bike.
Oh, yeah, that's where I'm dying today. Oh, how did – you know what? Put your headphones on and tell me how this happened to me. We're going to bring Mr. Joey Beck in on the booth with me and Scott. Good man. He's been using that voice today out there hyping the crowd for the bounty hole. But tell me what you just said, Joey.
So I knew you were busy. Oh, did you hear that voice?
Yeah, you've been using it today.
Listen, I knew you were busy.
Yeah.
So I took it upon myself to make sure you didn't miss out on the Pit Bike Championship. I just signed up you and the whole S3 crew in all the 12-inch classes, and I got you in the over 35 classes. You're getting on up there, okay?
Yeah.
So you get to race with all those veterans.
But here's the thing. You're
Oh,
not
my.
eligible for any of the purse.
I'm not waiting. Hold on. Some racing for free?
No, you're actually completely eligible. We just know there's no chance you're going to win.
Okay, so basically
That's
in
even better.
no less terms, I'm not racing for the purse. Hey, Joey, thank you for doing that, dog. Thank you for stepping up when I couldn't go sign up and wasn't going to sign up and taking care of that for me.
Well, you're not going anywhere because we're going to be coming up here, I think at 8 o'clock it all starts up again.
What time is a pit bike race? 6?
6? Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, here's the story.
Okay.
We're shutting down right. Here's that bologna sandwich I was telling you about.
Still good.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah. I'll probably be rude.
My
Talk
man's
at the same
milking
time.
his. Mine was going quick.
But here's what's happening. We just got done with the bounty hole.
Yep.
We're going to close this out here. You're getting all suited up.
Wait, when you say all suited up, I'm in my race gear.
Yeah, that's what I
Like,
mean.
if you look, this is what I'm pit bike racing in. jorts, but they're my mullet jorts because they're longer in the back. T-shirt, hat on backwards. We're race ready.
And then we're going over to the pit bike race.
Yep.
And then later on tonight, we'll be coming right back here again with more nasty mud. They call it mud nasty. I'm calling after. This is nasty mud, man.
Yeah, it's just a
right.
nasty good time. But what a good time sitting here watching the Bounty Hole Run. What's going to be crazy tonight is the knockout race that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to go get suited up because I've got a pit bike to crash and I've got
come back in one piece.
A clavicle to break real quick.
We want to use you again tonight.
Yeah.
I emphasize the word use.
Yeah.
But it's been a blast working with you again, man. You know, it's been a great time. So thank you for everybody back at home watching us, checking out the whole thing going on here at Mid-America Outdoors. Once again, we're going right over to the Pit Bike Challenge. This guy's going to be in it with all his boys. They brought the whole fleet of pit bikes out of their shop, so we're going to have a little bit of fun there. How serious do you take this?
Not at all, because I don't ride anything with two wheels except to get me around the pits. So now I've got to turn into a racer on a pit bike.
Well, again, thank you for checking in with us, hanging out, watching the nasty mud behind us here this afternoon, the Bounty Hole.
Yes,
we
sir.
hope you had a great time. We're going to shut down right now. Going to re-air it again up a little bit, and watch this guy take on all these 40-plus veterans
Here we
in
go.
Pit bikes.
You basically
Thanks a lot,
see
everybody.
me in the race suit, so you know what to look for.
Yeah. Dustin, it's been wild, man. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure.
And I'm Scott Rain. We had Pam Hall up here earlier. Pam, it's been a blast. We're going to see everybody in a couple – dude, we'll see everybody in a couple minutes at the pit bike track.
Here we go.